earlier, maybe they should choose some more defensive options. Maybe they should play the anvil. Maybe it is time for them to play the hammer. Maybe what you do is you start saying, oh, they're focusing for bottom. Let's focus for top. Let's just take exactly what they're taking, the opposite direction. And that's a strategy we've seen so many strong teams use. It's just we haven't seen really either direction fully committed to yet from Santos Laguna. I think that if they want to make this comeback in this set 3 games straight, it's going to have to be some sort of huge answer.
All right, well, we are starting with the exact same Bantas game 2 for Santos Laguna, and I believe Zeta Division as well. We're going to be jumping back into this draft. A Pokemon like Suicune is still available and has been such an important Pokemon. Well, we are going to be first picking that Lazio. Zeta Division picked Suicune, but only when they were in the first pick position on the purple side. So instead, Wajiro going for the Blissey yet again. Such a powerful Pokemon. I think was a part of a major moment. And Tomato will go on to the defender. I would say the most Tomato-like of all defenders available in Pokemon Unite.
Maybe like the very Hollowware Snorlax. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's Tomato-like. Yeah, it's such a tough situation where both Suicune and Ho-Oh being available early on, it means that there's no really great way to take them both away from Tomato.
Yeah, and Tomato hasn't had ban phase, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you would have to really change your entire ban strategy, and that's just not something that Santos Laguna clearly feels comfortable doing. So we are going to go to some pretty similar picks. It looks like overall, maybe from both sides.
Yeah, we're going to see the Garchomp yet again. I love the coordination between Washiro and Tommy, not only in the early game pathing phase, but I think we saw some really great stuff, especially around the defense of that Tier 2 goal zone. Even a Dragon Rush across the wall into their own central, backing it up with some Bliss assistance has been impressive. Santos Laguna running back the exact same composition from Game 2. Zeta Division, the only switch will be made is in the Dodrio slot. Vidopo going to return to the Leafeon, which has a 43% pick rate on the tournament.
I think that's a great choice. I think that they are going to play some pretty similar roles. I mean, if you're playing the Tri-Attack Dodrio, you're a little bit more of like these ranged speedsters where you can play a little bit more safe range. You're going to potentially get some AoE damage, and your AoE damage is going to be a little bit more significant here with the Leafeon. And I think that with how everybody groups up on that side, it's going to be really strong. But also, you are going to be able to maybe solo out that Latios with your Unite move if you can find yourself in the correct situation, and sandwiching yourself with a good flank behind them while there is a very scary either defender or Garchomp in front of them is a great way to do that.
That's true. You just got to be careful. You don't get hit by a wide guard. Don't get hit by a block. Don't get follow me. There's a lot of dangerous stuff out there. But I know right now, both of these teams are so excited, but probably nervous. I'm nervous and excited. It's a bit of a combination on this main stage. Santos Laguna backs against the wall. Truly a historic tournament run for not only this team, for this region. A few of these players, this is their first year competing in the Unite Championship Series. Zeta Division, old hats at this point, as they have played now 2 years in a row and are looking to achieve an even better result than they have in previous years. But they've already done now by making it into the top 4 territory. But they would love to play in Championship Sunday.
Yeah, the pressure on them is higher than maybe almost any other team. You know, just their entire region wanting that repeat so bad. I was just talking about it, but it's such a different feeling than a region that has never won Worlds. And of course, their entire region is behind them as well, but the expectation isn't, of course, we have to win again. You know, it's if you can win again, you are the greatest of all time, or if you can win for our first time. But when you have, you know, just legends behind you, it is a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and Zeta have absolutely lived up to it so far.
True.
Not only, of course, wanting to repeat, but wanting to do better themselves than they have before. And also, to be honest, they're one of the best teams that has been around and not been able to take a Worlds, right? I mean, obviously there's only been 2 Worlds winners, but it's one of those teams where it's like, if you were to say within the next 3 years, you know, this year included, what are some of the teams that you think could win Worlds? They would be right at the top of the list.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man, yeah, looking forward to the future. It's a really fun thing, too. I like that a lot. All right, sorry, everybody, we're going to be getting back into game very, very soon. We do not want to hold this one back anymore. And oh my word, we have had so many incredible cosplays, outfits, costumes throughout this entire tournament. So thank you everyone so much for showcasing your passion, not only for Pokemon Unite, but for these competitors, for the competition as a whole. It has been so fun to see you and have you join us for Anaheim Worlds 2025. We're in one of the best sets we've ever seen here yet today.
Oh yeah, it just keeps getting better throughout the entire day. The things that we've seen this weekend are unbelievable. unbelievable. From the very first game of day one until the very last game that we just saw where Score Comp won, every single thing that we've been seeing is unbelievable. This has been one of the best I guess, one of the best front-to-back worlds that we've had. Like, there have been no games that have just been filler games. This has been all the way through. There have been games that we had to have on the feature match station that have been incredible matches. There just is absolutely, I don't know, the competition has leveled up.
Yeah, totally. And hey, shout out Feature Station that we now have 2 streams during this event. I really hope everybody enjoyed that, not missing a moment of the action, or at least as much as we possibly could have. It has been so much fun. Like you mentioned, the tournament matches throughout the entire weekend have been elite, and getting our chance to see as many of them as possible. I know it's been a major request of the community and also us, because seeing these teams play on the main stage is just so fun.
Oh, yes. All these teams have earned their spot, and I love that they all get a chance to be seen, and those matches get to stay in the history books forever. I mean, especially for, you know, kind of like competitive nerds like you and I.
Yeah.
I want every match to be recorded for history ever. Yes. I want it to be like, you know, 20 years from now, 15 years from now, and I'm like, okay, do you remember that moment that was in, you know, Worlds 2025 where this particular thing happened? And I want to be able to go back and click on a video and be like, yes, we get to see that exact moment. And then we look at ourselves and like, we were so young then. That's wild.
Yeah, well, to the surprise of no one, we're pretty big nerds up here, casting Pokemon Unite. But I know there's a whole lot more of you down there who are also in love with the game and in love with this competitive scene and all of its crazy shenanigans that we see things getting up to. This is going to be such a
free last chance here for Santos Laguna. They've got to win 3 in a row. If they don't, then Zeta Division will move on to the grand finals, for Japan moving there for the 2nd year in a row.
Zeta Division on the edge of victory. Santos Laguna just hunting for it, like you just mentioned, Wonder Chef. Now, we do have that Leafeon clearing the central area at the beginning. This will be 2 Pokemon that will be at a very similar pace. The Leafeon and Scyther are both having extremely fast clears, even in the early game. Will hit that level 5 power spike right on time.
Truly, that path from Zeta Division still is like giving me anxiety. Just seeing them just stand there and just hold A, and the entire other path just like, help me. But they're continuing on with the aggression. A 3rd member coming down, as Vitopo is going to be coming down to help them. Might run into any sus up in the center area. Got to be careful. That's a really far flank. We usually don't see them go all the way that far back, so I would love to see what any sus's plans are. Trying to catch up Vitopo. They are going to find them immediately. Gets a ton of damage, does not quite get the KO, manages to get out of the way of the Razor Leaf. A great play, and that's going to delay them long enough to stop them from getting as much of the farm in. The bird spawns, but oh my goodness, so much damage!
Yeah, this is scary because now Kira's going to have to try to defend this goal zone with no citrus berries to retreat to. And Anisus is there with half an HP bar. Mewtwo Y goes down, even mid-side strike aim. Anisus with a 1 HP in a dream shenanigans, as Vitopo doesn't even want to take that fight after that.
That was very risky. Everything that Anisus pulled right there was very risky and paid off very well. I mean, that was just confidence. The fact that you're down, yes. No, but the fact that you were down 2 games and you're willing to go for that far of a flank, be willing to defend with that little life, and then it actually pays off, shows that Santos Laguna, they're on the back foot, but they have not crumbled at all.
Yeah, now the one scary thing is Mufasa has had a tough time against Tomi and Vitopo and Wajiro in this last exchange. Tomato also coming for the backup, leaving the 2 attackers in the bottom side to duel alone. These new Swablu Altarias will be Zetas alone, as no one from Santos Laguna has the opportunity to try to steal that EXP. Mufasa just desperately looking for any experience, trying to get that Aegis/evolution.
Tomato playing a great forward position, just playing for vision. Every single movement that is being made from Santos Laguna is being seen at the moment, and now Tomato finally backing up once they realize, okay, we know where they are, we know where they've rotated to, now we can split up accordingly. Most of them kind of in the center.
Wow, Tommy actually catching that double in the tall grass with the Dragon Rush and the Dragon Claw combination. Big heavy slam from Kira, giving them a little bit more time as Tomato with the Assault Vest so tanky, not too worried about the Latios poke damage at the time being with that special defense, not to mention the self-healing and Blissey healing they have access to.
Still just a lot of bullying on this bottom path. It's kind of like we're going back to like the pathing phase, but they're not able to get too many KOs, which is pretty nice. I mean, you are a late game scaler for Latios. So as long as you're holding on, as long as you're getting some farm, things are going to kind of go okay. Unfortunately, they are pretty low level at the moment. Hitting level 8 while everybody else is hitting level 9 on the side of Zeta Division. That's pretty scary. Also the defense up top. I mean, you can stop a 35-point score, but you got to be careful about getting KO'd yourself when you already have a guard chomp and, of course, Vitopo on this Leafeon.
All right, Minato just doing as much as they can to buy time. Vitopo might be getting a little frustrated, but they still got damage to work with. We're going to cut down to the Reg Ice on the bottom side. Kira will fall, will not have the chance to block the objective, but that's okay. Anysus picks it up anyways. They do have the green illusion dive, give up on chasing the Mewtwo. Why? And instead decide to execute the Ho-Oh.
That is a great little jump ahead for Santos Laguna. I shouldn't say jump ahead, kind of jump back up to even, but it's a great boost for them. And Anysus has really been leading the charge this time around. This play on the Scyther has been amazing. They've been enabling a lot of what's making things work. Look at this huge wide invade into the center area from Zeta Division, and they're going in to try and flank and push in this Regieleki.
Mewtwo already down. No Moonlight healing is going to be really difficult to play around this objective. Garchomp throwing the members of the enemy team both to the top side and back to the tier 2. Regieleki will land. Zeta Division is going to build this score lead to 230 to a donut in game number 3.
This is looking even scarier than game number 1. Zeta Division just holding full control. The fact that they have had in every single game a tier 2 goal zone down before the 5-minute mark, and alternating paths, by the way, top, bottom, top, is absolutely incredible. Oh, nice. Okay, Anysus once again picking up a KO. It is going to be on Tomato. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but almost a second. A great unite to stop that from happening from Vitopo. It does look like they probably should be able to pick up Wajiro, but again, any little trades like that are going to be quite good for Santos Laguna.
I'm honestly shocked Vitopo was able to just kind of face tank all of the green illusions with that final hit onto the Leafeon, but Unite move doing a lot of work in that exchange. It is a Clefable Unite move and a Snorlax, which will also outlast the Garchomp, and Anysus will get their revenge onto a member of Zeta Division. They're going to try to chase down Ramen the Mewtwo. Meanwhile, a mid-battle inside of this mid part of the map as the Swablu and Altaria is the next to go down.
Oh, they're all so low. Moonlight just barely coming back up to bring them to any sort of life. It's 4 members, though, but Tomato is going to do so much damage. I can chase you across a wall. You can't fly away from me. But they did manage to get a good amount of that experience on the side of Santos Laguna. Things are not looking that well. Okay, that's not looking super great as Vitopo gets a great flank into the Unite, but other things are looking pretty good altogether for Santos Laguna compared to the first few minutes of this match. They're starting to get score. Another Unite coming out from Scyther, but Scyther goes down as it's happening. That's going to be unfortunate. They're losing all their strong members on Santos Laguna's side. This might be another tier 1 goal zone going down, only 12-6. Yep, they're breaking that quick.
Yeah, Wajiro's Bliss Assistance has just proved too powerful. It's one of the best answers to this Scyther dive. As soon as they try to explode, Scyther does have to, after they first do a wing beat, jump into melee range. Blissey not only having the knockup, but also the ability to KO Scyther themselves if they need to, has made it really difficult to find knockouts onto this Garchomp, onto this Leafeon, and Zeta Division has been able to push this lead further and further. Regieleki will go down for free. Anysus gets a lot of payback off that. It probably will not be landing in this tier 1 as Zeta Division rallies to defend.
That is surprising that, to me, that Zeta Division didn't try to prioritize that at all. Oh, an attempt to at least get something in before we get to this final stretch. Probably reset your KO timer as well. But this Regieleki obviously could have been heading towards the base goal zone, the home goal zone of Santos Laguna, but instead Zeta Division, they're preparing for more of a fight.
Yeah, and they're going to actually take that fight right now. The best way to prepare for a fight, I find, is taking it. Also, having Vitopo at level 15 is where that Leafeon is right about to achieve. Mufasa does get a Sacred Sword, but now they're at the Wide Guard in the midst of 4 enemy Pokemon. Wide Guard is off cooldown, so they do get pulled by the Garchomp. When this battle's actually raining on, that is the Garchomp Unite move needed to KO that Aegis Slash. Kira there for the defense, trying to peel for Hitman, who's getting the poke damage. But Mewtwo Unite cascades onto all of them. Anysus, the only member left up for Santos Laguna, and they go down! The side strike found the target!
No members up, but there's 8 seconds left. The coup de grace is available. If we can sneak in with Mufasa, that might be one of the only ways that you live. Or, I mean, honestly, you just don't even burn it. Maybe on the side of Zeta Division. No, they're going for it. They're going 100%. Aegis Slash is down. They're going to have to find a miracle secure. Snorlax jumping in. What's the final hit going to be? It's Tomato. Everybody with the tomato shirts out there living their best life as Zeta Division, with already a 200-point lead, will take a lot of shields moving forward to score.
Kira leaps in with the Snorlax to buy some space. Heavy Slam block opens it up. Clefable uses their Unite move and attempts to Hydro Pump the Rayquaza. A tough turn of events. A few options would have been a little better, but Zeta Division really covered for all of their outs. Yet another match defined by a team fight preemptively around the Rayquaza, and Zeta Division 3 for 3 when it comes down to an aggressive battle near the end of the match.
This set has been nearly full repeats for every single game. The comps were similar. The kind of back and forth was similar. The leads that Zeta got were similar. The way they dealt with Rayquaza was similar. Everything just felt like it was in their control. They're ahead by over 500 points, so even Hundo Burgers in everybody's pockets are not quite going to be enough. A KO onto, at least, Tommy, that's going to be one big KO. 40 seconds left. This is going to have to be nearly a miracle if we want to see Santos Laguna make this back.
Yeah, Vidopo on the run right now, but this Speedster will be able to easily retreat to the rest of their team as Wachiro says, where have you been?
Yeah.
I have eggs for you, please. Heal on up. Santos Laguna with one final push. Latin America North's final chance at getting to Championship Sunday. Zeta Division holding strong so far. Tomato from the outside. Vidopo always there for the backup. A resurrect from Tomato brings back Wajiro. And Zeta Division holding strong. Hitman down. Garchomp sweep. And Zeta Division are going to Championship Sunday.
Japan for 2 years in a row. They've made it back, the final hope of the region. And they have made it all the way. Look at that immediately. The team, you can see how happy they are, and well-deserved. Our first semifinal match of the day and a clean sweep, fully in control.
3-0 fashion over one of the hottest teams in the World Championships this year. Santos Laguna, first our flowers to that team. An amazing run, the best run this region has ever seen. And what a showing from this team. Not only regional near the end of the year, but now internationally here at the World Championships.
You can see some mixed emotions definitely from Santos Laguna. They should be proud of themselves. I mean, 4th place in the world is an absolutely amazing placement. Obviously, you always want to do better, but you can see some smiles, you can see some disappointed faces, but certainly we know with those players, they'll be back, as we've seen them years and years again. Zeta, though, this might be their year.
Zeta Division, the last representative of Japan in this tournament. They entered Day 2 and top 16 with 4 teams from their region. That changed very quickly.